Good afternoon. Welcome to Mars Turfwars Auburn, presented by Auburn Opelika. It's Kickball here this afternoon down south. It's the Coed Advanced Quarterfinal featuring the 4-seed Flow. They'll take on the 5-seed, the Generational Talent. A sunny 85-degree day. Tanner Collins alongside Dwayne Lucas. Dwayne, it's going to be a fun afternoon at Kickball.
Absolutely, it is, and I'm very excited to see this matchup between Generational Talent and Flow. These teams rely on their defensive skills. It should be a low-scoring game, and whichever team makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win.
Already underway here in game number 1. This is the Coed Advanced quarterfinal between the Flow and the Generational Talent. They're ready to play some kickball. Not wasting any time. Let's take a look at the rules, Dwayne. We'll start at the top. You must have at least 8 fielders, and at least 4 of them must be women.
Absolutely. And the kicking lineup must contain 13 players. All subs must be of the same sex. Throwing the ball at the runner is allowed. Ball must bounce at least twice before it crosses home plate, and they're going with the 3 strikes, 4-ball rule per kick, and each kicker gets that courtesy foul. And as you can see, they're already underway.
We're going to restart. They got going a little too quick. And now we are officially about to get underway. Matt Graffin will lead things off for the Generational Talent, and we're underway here in Auburn.
And he pops out. Well, actually, that's Flo. Flo's up the kick. Flo's up the kick, and that was Xavier McFadden. So they must did a little switcheroo here. So Generational Talent is the home team, and Flo is the visiting team.
McFadden flies out for out number 1, and 2 up, 2 down. Bobby Smith retired. 2 quick outs, Dwayne, here in the top of the first. This is a fast-moving game. What should the viewers expect back at home?
This is going to be a fast-paced game, but a lot of these players on these teams are very, very athletic, and as you're going to see, the time is going to fly. And as far as the defense goes for both teams, you really have to place the ball where it needs to be, or else it's going to be a fast 3 outs.
Kyra Brooker steps in, 2 outs, nobody on, and an infield single, the first hit for the Flow, and they have a 2-out base runner.
And 9 times out of 10, this game is relied on what happened? This game is relied on a bunt to load the bases and the kickouts to score the runs. And 9 times out of 10, the females are usually the better bunters than the guys because it's a little bit more technical. It's almost like the WNBA. They're better basketball players from a technical standpoint versus the athleticism. But
Hooker back in the box. And that time out at first.
And that was a 1-2-3.
1-2-3 in the top of the first. The Generational Talent coming up here from Auburn.
And that was definitely a fast inning. We got on flows. Samir Osman is the pitcher. They have a very, very acute defense as well. They have Bobby, who's one of the Chargers, is very accurate, and he can throw the ball from third to first. And pretty much this is going to be a defensive game.
3 up, 3 down. Matt Graffin will lead off for the Talent.
And he's a great bunter as well. He's been playing for a few years now. I've seen him play for a long time. He's a good bunter and places the ball exactly where it needs to be and has the speed to get on first. So we'll see how this goes out. And Samir, the pitcher, he's familiar with playing on ESPN. He's played the first time this was played on the Ocho. So, you know, he's used to being up under the big lights and playing on screen.
Got the best looking jersey out there.
Indeed he does, and he's definitely a showman, so I'm sure you're going to see some showmanship as this game goes along as well.
First pitch to Graffin down the line, and that's going to be a leadoff single.
And that it is. As I said, he's a very good bunter. He's a very good bunter, and the back catcher couldn't get the ball in his hands quick enough.
See there, right down the line. Good start for the Talent.
It definitely is. So next up, okay, we got Jimmy Fincher. He's a 2 guy. He's a very good bunter as well. So again, like I said, the strategy is for both of the first 2 kickers to bunt to get on the bag, and you know the kickers come up to score the run. Oh, that's not going to work though.
Popped up and an easy out for the Flow, and there's 1 gone with Graffin at first. That'll bring up Jenny Babb. takes ball one outside, and it's 1-0.
And as you see, Flo, they're utilizing the defensive scheme with having the double chargers.
Graffam at first. Babb gets it in play.
Got to have
first or out number 2, but Babb moves the runner Graffam up to second with 2 outs.
And we're in the who's up to kick now? John Graffam. He's a kicker, so 9 times out of 10, as you see, they move some of the players to the outfield because they're expecting a kick out.
They did move up the outfield wall 15 feet, so it's 185 to straightaway center. First pitch is in there for strike 1, and it's 0-1.
And this pitcher pitches with a lot of finesse too. He can pitch with straight speed, or he can slow it up with a lot of spin.
That time missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Graffam led off with a single. He's out at second. That one drilled into left field and brought down for out number 3. And we're scoreless through 1 full inning. It's the Coed Advanced Quarterfinals here on ESPN.
Historic rail lines and scenic drives meander through live oaks, dogwoods, and azaleas, leading you to a spirited destination called Auburn, Opelika, Alabama. A distinctive place defined by warm hospitality and a surprising mix of experiences, made for travelers seeking something authentic. It's America's coolest college town and his hip older sister, Auburn, Opelika. It gets into your soul.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at the lineup for the Flow. They went 3 up, 3 down in the first. Dwayne, through 1 inning, it's a defensive battle.
Just like I said, but we're coming up with Joel up the kick, and he's a kicker. Not too good of a bunter, but he can get it done. So I'm pretty sure that they need to play him honest because he can do either one pretty good.
Tanner Collins, Dwayne Lucas here this afternoon. That one in play, throw to first.
And just like that, I said he wasn't a good bunter, and he proved me wrong. That's usually how it happens, though.
Take a look at that infield single by Buford.
Great bunt. Perfect ball speed, and he's definitely was safe.
A strong throw for Matt Graffam over in front of the third base bag. That'll bring up Charles Hatton. Runner at first and nobody out. Still looking for our first run here in the quarterfinal.
And with a runner on first with no outs, he's definitely bunting and try to advance the runner to second. But Charles is definitely a power kicker as well, though. So we'll see if he can get it down the line and move the runner.
What's the strategy, Dwayne? When are you trying to put one over the fence, and when are you just trying to move runners around?
Pretty much when you have runners in scoring position, second or third, or if it's 2 outs and you're just trying to go for the Hail Mary. And if you just have a great kicker, sometimes a great kicker can just try to put one over the fence. But this one, he's definitely advancing the runner. Looks like he's out at 1, and Joel is not going to try to round 3 and try to catch him with the okie doke, but he didn't fall for it. So there's 1 down, advanced runner to second base, and we got Samir Osman up the kick.
Good work by Charles Hatton to advance Buford to second. And now a runner in scoring position with only 1 out. for Osman.
And it looks as though that he may be trying to kick as well. Sacrifice fly to move the runner to third. Yep. But it looks as though he didn't get it far enough.
Fly out in the infield from Osman.
Hey, sometimes when you see that home run wall out there, you think you can get to it, and it depends on the pitch. You just can't. And then he ended up, I feel like, making a mistake on that kick right there. He should have tried to advance the runner, maybe with the bunt, and gestures up the kick. Six down.
Grounds out, and that ends the top of the second. After a leadoff single, 3 consecutive outs following Dwayne.
Absolutely. I said it was going to be a defensive battle, and that's what it is.
So, today's Mars Turf Wars event is brought to you by Auburn Opelika and Auburn Parks and Recreation Department. A beautiful complex down here in Auburn, Alabama. Just a couple clouds in the sky, 85 degrees and sunny, and winds only blowing 4 miles per hour. Still waiting for our first home run here this afternoon. Then Bartlett will lead things off here in the second.
And that's usually a power kicking position, but I'm sure a lot of times that's somebody that can do both well. So let's see if he stays with the strategy to bunt to get on back and expect his players behind him to move him around.
1 ball, 1 strike. See the kickball bouncing twice as it caroms into home plate. That time Bartlett gets it down, and it's a good one. He beats out the throw, and a leadoff single here in the bottom of the second for the talent.
That was a great bunt. That was a great bunt. Perfect ball speed, fast enough to get out of the reach of the back catcher, and just slow enough so don't get to the charge as fast. Perfect.
That'll bring up Eric Rogers, runner at first, nobody out. Rogers rocking the 2 sleeves and the shades, no hat. And the lime green kicks. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's the second hit. 1+ innings for the talent.
And let's see if they can move this runner around the third in the scoring position. It's a great bunt. Got that out. Okay, he's staying there too.
Bartlett advances to second, so a nice job by Eric Rogers. That'll be up to Jamie Duchesne with the runner in scoring position and only 1 out.
Only 1 out. She's definitely going to bunt down 3 and try to advance him to third. And there you go.
Gets it down.
Oh, that was a drop at
first. And it's going to be runners at the corners and 1 out.
Runners at the corners. I think we're going to see our first run.
Which team is going to strike first here in the quarterfinal? Close play over at first there on the replay.
Should have been a catch.
Dwayne, how hard is it to kick that ball with that spin they put on those pitches?
Oh, it's definitely difficult. It's definitely difficult.
So
it's almost like hitting a 95-hour fastball in the major leagues. It's tough. And you got G. Choi up the kick. And it looks as though that he's going to load the bases. He's going to bunt and load the bases. And we'll see what. And that's one thing they didn't want to do. You don't want to pop out. You don't want to pop out. However, it's only 1 out.
Choi pops out, and there's 2 gone for Steven Ozier. So runners at the corners, 2 outs.
2 outs.
Flo trying to hang on here in the bottom of the second.
And as you see that they made the changes for the outfield because they're expecting a kick out.
Ozier rocking the bucket hat. Takes strike 1.
And 9 times out of 10, when pitchers get in this position, they see expecting someone to kick out, they pitch a real bouncy pitch and try to throw off the timing of the kicker to get him to pop it up. They don't want to pitch nothing too flat so they can get a hold of it. And as you see that pitch right there, and they did exactly what they wanted them to do.
High fly ball into center field, and it's brought down. Nice work defensively by the talent. We're through 2 full innings, and we're scoreless here in Auburn. It's the Coed Advanced Quarterfinals on ESPN.
Historic rail lines and scenic drives meander through live oaks, dogwoods, and azaleas, leading you to a spirited destination called Auburn, Opelika, Alabama. A distinctive place defined by warm hospitality and a surprising mix of experiences, made for travelers seeking something authentic. It's America's coolest college town and his hip older sister, Auburn, Opelika. It gets into your soul.
And welcome back to the Wire Road Soccer Complex. The fans have piled in, umbrellas, lawn chairs, you name it. It's an electric crowd here to watch some kickball. Top of the third inning, we're scoreless, and Jamal Abraham will lead things off. Dwayne, just one hit for the flow through 2 innings.
That's it, but at least this time they got the lead runner all the way around the third. But as you can say, they have to cash in order to score that run, though. And he pops it up. It's very difficult to try to place that bunt where you want it to be when you have a very good pitcher pitching with force, power, and the spin.
1 up, 1 down here in the third.
And we got Brandon Strudel up next. I'm not sure how he's approaching. I'm not sure if he's gonna try to bunt or is he gonna take a shot. We'll see though.
Comes the 1-0.
And it looks like he's
fouled back.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to do a little pooch kick or a punch kick or something like that. One thing about these teams, they know each other. They've been playing against each other for a very long time. So this is nothing new. They know everybody's strengths and weaknesses. And so that's why this also said this is going to be a low-scoring game.
Another grounder over to Graffam and a strong throw across the diamond for out number 2.
That was a great throw.
Putting on a clinic defensively.
That was a great.
It's got to be the shades, right?
Yeah, got to be.
Throwing a dart over to first. He's playing the wrong sport.
Great play. It's funny you say that, though, because a lot of the great kickball players usually come from baseball and, believe it or not, basketball. Those that have the best attributes that transition to kickball, the hand-foot coordination.
Graffam again. Throws a dime, and that ends the top of the third. He records the second and third out in the inning.
And that was a great bunt, too. That was a great bunt. She put it right where she had it, where it needed to be. However, she just wasn't fast enough and couldn't beat out Matt's arm.
Matt Graffam is putting on a show here in the first quarterfinal matchup. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Dwayne, what's the approach as we look at the lineup here for the talent?
Well, it looks as though who's leading off? Got Matt. Where are we? Cora Ozier. 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to start changing up their strategy and start taking shots because the innings are going by pretty fast, and they just want to have to take a shot. Because as you see, the button is not working. The defense is too locked in. So sometimes we're just going to have to try it out and see what the outfield can do.
So Ozier, Wells, and Massengill do up here at the bottom of the third. Tanner Collins, Dwayne Lucas here with you for the first quarterfinal matchup in the Coed Advanced Division. The Flo, the 4 seed, and the Generational Talent, the 5 seed.
And as you can see, Flo changed out their pitcher as well. They have Joel Buford up there pitching, and he's a pretty good pitcher too. He pitches with a lot of bounce.
Nice bunt down the line and safe into first. A leadoff single.
Absolutely.
For Ozier.
Bobby just couldn't get a hold of it, but it was definitely a good bunt.
That'll bring up Carson Wells. Nobody out. Runner at first. And the first pitch misses outside, ball 1.
And as you see, she actually bunted with her knee. And in kickball, in these rules, you're allowed to bunt as long as the knee on down, and it goes down towards the ground, which makes it a legal bunt. Oh.
Play to second is in time, and the defense is being showcased on both sides through 2+ innings. Wells safe into first.
And that's just the defense knowing and the players knowing where to be. And she was actually there in time enough to make the play at second base. Great call, great throw.
I'll bring up Eric Massengill with Carson Wells at first after grounding into a fielder's choice.
Another little pooch kick.
And a diving grab at second.
And she got up under it. That's a great catch.
One of the best defensive plays we've seen so far this afternoon, and there's 2 gone.
Did the tuck and roll to make sure the ball didn't hit the ground, got up under it. Great play.
So Wells remains at first. It'll be up to Cheyenne K to extend the inning. She takes strike 1. It's 0-1.
And as you can see at the plate, you have the plate, and then you have 6 inches on the side of either side of the plate, and the ball can go over one of those to be called a strike. It doesn't necessarily have to go directly over the plate.
1 ball, 1 strike. Leadoff hitter Matt Graffam waits on deck for a chance here in the bottom of the 3rd.
And depending on the strategy, they may just go ahead and accept this out so that way they can start at the top of the lineup going into the next inning.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Cheyenne K. Take a look at that last pitch. You see the left to right movement on that pitch, and then the ricochet down the line. That was close.
It definitely was close. But he did put his hand on the ball before.
Strike 3 called. And that ends the inning.
She got rung up.
We'll head to the top of the 4th. We're still scoreless here in the Coed Advanced quarterfinal on ESPN.
Historic rail lines and scenic drives meander through live oaks, dogwoods, and azaleas, leading you to a spirited destination called Auburn, Opelika, Alabama. A distinctive place defined by warm hospitality and a surprising mix of experiences. Made for travelers seeking something authentic. It's America's coolest college town and his hip older sister, Auburn, Opelika. It gets into your soul.
Top of the 4th inning here in the first quarterfinal matchup between the Flow and the Generational Talent. The bottom 3rd of the order due up for the Flow. It'll be Carlson, Fluth, and Windus due up here to start the top of the 4th inning, and offensively only 1 hit for the Flow through 3 innings.
Again, I'm anxious to see if they're going to change their strategy and start taking shots, but we'll see. The way he's lined up, you can't tell. Here's the pitch. And there he is taking a shot. However,
guess who's at 3rd?
not good enough.
Matt Graffam again.
He's playing lights out over there. Mistake free.
1 up, 1 down. You're in the top of the 4th. Hasn't even broken a sweat.
At all.
And it's humid. 90-degree feel like down here in Auburn, Alabama.
And up the kick is Fluth. Her nickname is L Train. And that's pretty, she's a great runner, has speed, and been playing this game for a while. Very good player. She plays well on the women's side of kickball.
Here's the 0-1 to L Train. This is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, 1 out.
Still waiting to see a run score.
Exactly right. Still looking for the first run here in the first quarterfinal. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It saw our first strikeout in the bottom of the third.
And that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to go down looking. Anytime you have 2 strikes, you want to try to protect the plate.
That time getting it in play. Graffam fires another across the diamond, and there's 2 gone.
And he doesn't miss. And he doesn't miss. Plays great mistake-free kickball. As you see, they're adjusting their defense. They don't think he's going to bunt at all.
Strike 1 to Trey Windus. Xavier McFadden waiting on deck. That would be back to the top of the order for the Flow. That one down the right field line.
Oh, that's a catch.
Ground.
That's a catch. Great, amazing play.
Going into the net and bringing it down for out number 3.
I don't even know if the camera caught that. She caught that in foul territory.
To the bottom of the 4th inning. We stay scoreless. Let's take a look at that diving grab.
And she does make the catch.
Head to Prize Picks for your daily fantasy sports made easy. Earn dollar for dollar match for up to $100 when you use promo code Turfwars Kickball. Prize Picks. See down there at the below of the promo, Turfwars Kickball. Dwayne, we're playing for some money down here at Auburn.
Absolutely. The championship game for the advanced Coed, the prize is going to be $2,500, and it's going to be an extra $125 to the MVP player of that championship game. So this is just not for fun.
Top of the order due up, and a diving play off the bunt from Matt Graffam, and a quick out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Just put a little bit too much air up underneath. And that just comes from the change of pitching with Joel's up there, because he pitches a very bouncy pitch, and if you don't get on top of the ball, you're definitely going to pop it up, even when you're trying to bunt.
Jimmy Fincher steps in. 0 for 1. He flew out his first time up, and he flies out again.
Right now, they're putting on a pitching clinic. The pitcher is putting the ball exactly where it wanted to be and getting the kicker to do exactly what they want him to do with it. Pop it up in the air. Those are easy outs.
2 quick outs. Now it's Jenny Babb's turn with nobody on.
She's
trying to extend the inning.
She's a good bunter. I think she's getting it.
Babb takes strike 1.
The lady's going to show the guys how to do it.
Here's the 0-1. She gets it down in play. Throw to first is in time.
Just not far enough.
3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the 4th. We'll head to the 5th here from Auburn. We're scoreless here in the Coed Advanced quarterfinal.
Historic rail lines and scenic drives meander through live oaks, dogwoods, and azaleas, leading you to a spirited destination called Auburn, Opelika, Alabama. A distinctive place defined by warm hospitality and a surprising mix of experiences. Made for travelers seeking something authentic. It's America's coolest college town and his hip older sister, Auburn, Opelika. It gets into your soul.
Top of the 5th inning here in the Coed Advanced Quarterfinals. You're watching the Turf Wars here on ESPN. Tanner Collins, Dwayne Lucas. Dwayne, the flow, just one hit through 4 innings. Someone's got to go yard at some point, right?
At some point. And I feel if they don't do it now, going into that last inning, they're going to probably start taking shots. But they're at the top of the lineup, so they have their best chance yet towards the end of the game to try to put a run on the board. So let's see if they can execute and get it done this time.
McFadden takes strike 1, and he's ready for the 0-1. It's the bunt down, but foul. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
I'm going to tell you what they need to do. They need to keep that ball away from Matt Graffam because he's been playing on fire over there at third base.
And the 0-2. Fouled off.
It looks like he might be changing his strategy. Maybe trying to go up 1 and just think he can outrun the back catcher. He might have heard me trying to keep it away from Matt and try somebody else.
Graffam waiting over at third for another chance.
And it's a pop-up.
And a diving catch by guess who?
Playing lights out over there. Keep it away from that guy. And then we have Bobby Smith up the kick. He can definitely do both. If someone on this team on flow can go yard, it's definitely him. Now, whether he tried or not, I'm not sure, but he can definitely do it.
Graffam putting on a defensive clinic through 4 1/3 innings. Bobby Smith up, nobody on, 1 out.
And they're very familiar with him too, so that's why I can see the outfield adjusting itself and not falling asleep. Oh, it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's see what Bobby does. Yep,
Under down the left side, foul.
Just like I thought. He's definitely going to try something.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody on, 1 out.
What the pitcher doesn't want to do, he doesn't want to give him nothing flat and easy to kick.
That time gets it down in foul ground. It's thrown out at first for the 2nd out of the inning.
Too close to the back catcher. Detroit makes a great out. He tried to change up his strategy, thinking he was going to kick out and try to do a quick bunt, but they were on top of it.
Base is empty for Cairo Booker. Knocks it over to Graffam. And that ends the top of the 5th.
3 up, 3 down.
A walk-off opportunity coming up, Dwayne, for generational talent here in the quarterfinal.
And let's see. I think that they're in the kicking portion of their lineup. So let's see what they do.
Graffam, John Graffam, that is, Ben Bartlett and Eric Rogers due up here in the bottom of the 5th.
And I believe Ben was the one that made it all the way down, all the way around the 3rd the last time he was up to kick. So they definitely have pressure in this part of the lineup. So we'll see.
Talent with 4 hits through 4 innings. One of those coming from Ben Bartlett, who's due up 2nd here in the bottom of the 5th.
They switched up and put Samir Austin back as the pitcher now. Let's see what he does.
John Graffam takes strike 1. That's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, that second bounce was kind of high coming over the plate, so that was the reason I was calling it a ball.
The Toronto Blue Jays cap. 2 balls, 1 strike. We have not seen a walk here in the contest. That one's lined into center. That's down for a base hit.
Yeah, it took a shot.
And the winning run is now at first for the Talent.
The name of the game is get on base. Now the person behind them, they have to do their job. They have to put the ball in play to move the runner to second.
Ball 1 to Ben Bartlett, who was 1 for 1. Singled and got all the way around to third his first time up, back in the second. Now he'll just look to advance the runner. He fouls that one back. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
And this is part of the game where mistakes happen. The game's close. It's kind of intense, and you don't want to make a mistake. So you want to. Oh, and
they get the lead runner at second.
That's a great play. That's a great play. And the defense knows exactly where to be.
How about the effort out there on the turf? A diving throw to second to get the lead runner.
That was a great play by Xavier. And now the winner, and that's a pooch. And that's a
chance for a double play, but nobody over at first. But there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
And that's a great play by Jess. Dr. Lyons, as we call her.
He had a chance for a double play, but
was nobody covering first? Yeah, absolutely.
First. 2 outs for Duchesne. Fouls the first pitch off, strike 1. 5 hits now offensively for the talent. Both sides having trouble getting runners into scoring position. Snowball's 2 strikes on Duchesne.
Let's see what she does.
Pop fly to first. That ends the inning. We have extra kickball coming up on ESPN. We'll head to the top of the 6th here in the opening quarterfinal matchup between the Flow and the Generational Talent.
Historic rail lines and scenic drives meander through live oaks, dogwoods, and azaleas, leading you to a spirited destination called Auburn, Opelika, Alabama. A distinctive place defined by warm hospitality and a surprising mix of experiences, made for travelers seeking something authentic. It's America's coolest college town and his hip older sister, Auburn, Opelika. It gets into your soul.
Extra innings here in the Coed Advanced quarterfinal. You're watching the Turf Wars here on ESPN, presented by Auburn, Opelika. Dwayne, here in extra innings, same as Major League Baseball. Runner starts at second with nobody out. And that'll be Booker with Buford to lead off. What's the game plan in the sport of kickball with a runner at second, nobody out, both teams looking for their first run?
Well, from my opinion, what they don't want to do is pop the ball up in the air and get easy out. Because they want to do is put the ball on the ground and advance that runner at second and third, the next kicker up to score, to kick in the run. Like I said, what you don't want to do is pop the ball up in the air and leave your runner stranded at second with 1 out.
So Booker out at second. Buford up at the plate. Buford 1 for 1, singled back in the second.
So it's kicker's choice.
First 5 innings took right at 35 minutes. Quarterfinal matchup, time limit is 55 minutes.
We flew through this game, but they definitely have speed with Booker on third. And he did exactly that. Got the out at 1, got the scoring run on third, moved runner.
Nice job by Buford to advance Booker to third. Now an RBI chance for Charles Hatton, who grounded out back in the second. Take a look at that bunt right back to the pitcher, doing his job.
Did his job. Exactly.
Advancing Booker to third. Big spot here for Charles Hatton. Trying to give Flo the first lead of the game. That one stays in the infield.
And that's what he doesn't want to do. Now
Exactly
it's 2
right,
outs.
Dwayne.
It's 2 outs.
Samir Osman in a bigger spot. Now there's 2 gone with Booker at third.
He has to land something. This one cannot be caught.
Biggest at-bat and biggest defensive stand of the game is right here. Booker start at second with nobody out. That one line down the left field line and fair. And folks, we have a run. And Osman is now in a pickle between second and third. The run did come in to score. And the Flo take a 1-0 lead. What a kick by Osman.
Oh, that was clutch. Big time players make big time plays, and that dropped just in, or right on the line.
That was Graffam over at third. So much hook spin on that kick, and just got enough air on it to bring Booker home. Now we turn to the bottom of the sixth. There's Booker, who scored the first run of the game. Now Dwayne, that puts the town on their heels. They now trail by 1.
It definitely does.
Got to score.
But again, I feel like we're going to do the same thing. They're going to bunt, try to move the scoring run to third to tie it up.
So Duchesne out at second. Troy Ozier and Ozier due up here in the bottom of the sixth.
See, Troy's up the kick.
Choi is not an easy out.
Absolutely not.
Showcasing his speed. The throw is just in time, but he advances Duchesne over to third. That'll bring up Steven Ozier with
That was a big out.
Duchesne at third and 1 out. Chance to tie the game up at 1 apiece. Steven Ozier flew out first time up back in the second. A hard kick ball to center field. Another fly ball, that time to left field, brought down by Booker. Throw to the plate is cut off, and we're tied at 1.
And that's a tying run.
So there's 2 outs on the sacrifice fly, though, from Steven Ozier. And we're tied at 1 here at the bottom of the sixth.
And the bases are empty.
That one just squeezes foul. No balls and a strike. And poor Ozier, who singled her first time up, 1 for 1, singled back in the third.
Definitely another good bunter. At this point, they're just trying to get runners on bag and just to, try to take a shot once she gets on base to see if they can, gather in some winning runs.
And for a 2-out rally.
There's nothing wrong with a 2-out rally.
Balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. This is inside.
He's pitching with a lot of spin, too.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That time gets it down in foul ground. Throw to first and plenty of time. And that ends the inning. Top of the 7th coming up. We're tied at 1. Bonus coverage here on ESPN. The Flo coming back up, scored back to start extra innings in the top of the 6th. And now it's Guzman, Stevens, and Abraham due up here in the top of the 7th.
So what I'm hearing is I think they're going to, in this particular round, they're going to start the kicker the last out at second, but they're only going to have one pitch. I think I heard him say that. Yep, Osman's going to second, and they're going to keep going, but they only get one pitch. So it's either going to be a strike, an out, or the ball's going to be in play for them to play.
Charles Hatton out at second. And the pitch is grounded over to Graffam. His throw to first is in
that's
time.
a great catch. It's a great catch. Great catch. Those hands.
Only get one pitch here in the 7th.
So if you watch it as a strike, it's an out. Look at the hands on that
Catch.
play. Oh, yeah, straight hands.
Not easy when you see that runner coming down the line at first.
No, not at all.
Another throw to first is not in time. And coming in to score is
Osman.
Charles Hatton.
Samir Osman. Samir Osman scored that run. He was the last out on that last inning. So they got a little momentum going. There's only one out. One run scored, and they got a runner on first.
So the inning continues. There's a blooper that stays in the infield. It's brought down for out number 2. Now the pressure goes back on the talent in the bottom of the inning. High fly ball into right center field, a collision, but it's brought down for out number 3.
Let the girls play. She called it.
We both heard it.
But definitely, that was a great out. Now, as you said, the pressure's on generational talent. Let's see what they can do. It's one pitch. Got to move the runner. Got to execute.
It'll be Cora Ozier out at second. And Wells, Massengill, and Kay due up for the talent. They answered the call in the 6th, but the rules changed in the 7th. See if they can answer the call for the second time. Only get to see one pitch. There's Cora Ozier out at second. First pitch is into left field. And that's in for a single. Ozier stays put at second.
Smart play. Smart play.
Carson Wells singles. He's 2 for 2. Pair of singles. Next pitch is fouled off.
And that's an out.
We're out number 1. So 1 out for Cheyenne K. Wells at second. Wells at first, rather. Cora Ozier out at second. Slow dribbler in the infield. Throw to third is in time.
That's 2 outs.
And the Flow are 1 out away from a spot in the semifinal.
And who we have up the kick? We got Graffam. He's been playing lights out on defense. Let's see what he can do on offense. Keep his team in the game.
Graffam lines it into right field. The throw to the plate is off the mark, and we're tied at 2. A 2-out RBI single for Matt Graffam. And the game continues.
The game continues. He's been playing lights out on offense and defense. When his team needed him, he answered the call.
You get one pitch. That's a high pressure kick.
Definitely is.
He finds the hole on the right side. That one will stay in the infield.
And that's a catch.
Brought down in shallow right.
It looked like it was a little bit of miscommunication between the women, but they got it together to get the out. And we're tied again.
That ends the inning. March right on to top of the 8th. There's Matt Graffam, a big-time 2-out RBI single.
If this was a championship game and they would have won, he's definitely would have been my MVP, for sure.
Tanner Collins alongside Dwayne Lucas. 2 apiece. There were no runs scored. And the scoring began once we got to extra innings. Both teams scoring 1 apiece in the 6th and the 7th. A defensive battle, a pitching showdown.
Just like I said in the beginning of the cast, it's definitely two great defensive teams.
Carson Wells out to pitch for the talent.
Let's go, Matt.
line to center field and brought down. We're out number 1.
He almost got caught up in the catch so much that he forgot about the runner that was on second base. If that was the guy that had speed, they might would have tried him.
Carson Wells doing it all for the talent. He's 2 for 2. Now pitching, Graff him to first, and there's 2 gone.
Come on, Bestie!
There we go.
Take the air out of it. Let's go.
Come on, Best!
Take the air out of it. Gotta be a shot here, not too much air.
And the scoring run is on 3. It's 2 outs.
1 pitch.
Can't pop it up.
Talent a chance to get out of the inning.
I'm not the coach. That's perfect.
Grounder to Graffam. Fakes out the throw to first.
Smart play.
The runner at third.
Smart play. That would have been a long out. Smart play.
See here, Graffam over at third where he's been all afternoon long. Fakes out the throw. Good job over at third at getting back to the bag in time.
It's a good thing she had her brakes on.
So runners at the corners and the pitch. Skied into center field, and that ends the inning.
No runs scored.
Generational talent will come up, tied at 2 and a chance to walk it off. Venture with great defensive work out in center.
Have a great runner up the kick. All you have to do is put it in play.
Venture out at second. Here's Jenny Babb. Gets it down in play.
Oh!
Throw is dropped at first.
Oh, and that's the winning run going home.
Venture comes in to score, and that'll do it. The generational talent take the Coed advanced quarterfinal by a final score of 3-2. All 5 combined runs come in extra innings. But the talent come away with it 3-2. Here's the walk-off.
And as you see right there, didn't secure the out at 1. Should have went home to protect the run scored, but she tried to get the runner going to second, debated her into it, and without thinking, she made that play and ended up scoring the winning run off that mistake.
Venture makes the third out in the top of the 8th and then comes in to score the winning run in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the generational talent book their spot in the semifinal later this afternoon. We'll go to break and be right back. Your final generational talent 3,